Namaskara. This is a video on the difference between written Kannada and spoken Kannada. Actually, I have made this video before with Kannada script. So there was a request from one of the subscribers to do it with English transliteration because it can reach more people. Because there are not many people who have learned the Kannada script or the Varnamale, but they have learned Kannada through the English transliteration. So to benefit these people, I am have created this video, which is completely using the English transliteration, giving the difference between written Kannada and spoken Kannada. Okay, so main differences are in tenses, but before that, we have to understand some basic thing. The grammatically correct written formal Kannada tenses and the colloquial spoken Kannada tenses, they have deviations. Okay, and it is the tenses that have most deviations. Other parts of Kannada does not have any deviation with respect to written form and the spoken form. So the written form is what is considered formal, right? And it has got rules. Spoken form came about because people just took the written form and adapted it to their own convenience. So there is nothing like a rule for spoken form. Okay, just that based on what popularly people speak and what accent people speak and what kind of adaptation they do, some kind of what you call, you can figure out a pattern and come up with a rule, but it doesn't mean you have to follow that rule to speak spoken Kannada, because in different parts of Karnataka, they speak spoken Kannada differently. For example, North Karnataka people have a heavy influence of Marathi in their speech, right? Whereas South Karnataka people have a heavy influence of Tamil and Telugu in their speech. So you cannot really say that spoken Kannada has rules to follow. What I'm giving here are the most commonly used spoken Kannada accent in Bangalore and southern part of Karnataka. Northern part of Karnataka will be slightly different. Okay, it doesn't mean they will not understand you. They will certainly understand you. Just that when they speak their local accent, we will have difficulty understanding them. Okay, so the bottom line that I want to mention is written Kannada has rules. Spoken Kannada does not have any specific rules. Just that I have put together the what is commonly used. Now, Google Translate uses written Kannada. Okay, it doesn't use spoken Kannada. Whatever you're trying to translate is all in written Kannada form. Okay, then written Kannada is what is used in exams when somebody gives a speech, formal speech. Anything that is formal is written Kannada, and that is what is the real Kannada, actual thing. Spoken Kannada is something that just got adapted. So you should not think that spoken Kannada has got its own grammar, it's got its own dictionary, nothing like that. Okay, there is only one Kannada, which is the written Kannada. Spoken Kannada is just an adaptation. Okay, okay. So written Kannada has three tenses: present, future, and past. Spoken Kannada has only two tenses: non-past and past. So the future and the present are clubbed together and treated as non-past. Only one tense for it. Okay. Then spoken present tense, u ending verbs. Root loses the u. So if you have a verb which ends with u, and most of the verbs in Kannada ends with u, a small number ends with a or e. Okay. So when a verb ends with u in spoken Kannada, you just don't use the u. Just you say mad. Madu will become mad. Hogo will become hog, right? The last letter g, the G, right, is actually half matra, which means you just say hog, right? But again, these are all not like hard and fast rules. It's not like cast in stone. It is just that based on how people speak, I'm giving these rules. Okay, so you should not say that when somebody says hoguttini, if they say, it doesn't mean they are wrong and they are not speaking the correct spoken Kannada. That itself is a wrong thought process. Okay, so if somebody is wrong, they have to be wrong in written Kannada. In spoken Kannada, anything goes, right? You can say, you can use anything. Okay, then spoken present tense non-u ending verbs, right? All the non-u ending verbs, they'll all be converted to e ending. For example, like what I said, all the verbs in Kannada are only three endings. Either they are u ending, which is the majority, then you have a ending and e ending, right? Now in spoken Kannada, all the a ending is converted to e ending. So if eventually, I mean, effectively, you basically have only two types of verbs. One is the u ending verbs, and other one is the E ending verbs. So for example, kare becomes kari, bare becomes bari, like that in spoken Kannada, okay, which is not true in written Kannada. Now, why I have this u ending and non-u ending is because between u ending and non-u ending, there are slight differences when you form the tense. That's why I've given these two, the differences, okay. Then present tense neuter, first person singular suffix takes a bigger change. For example, the suffix normally in written form will be uttade, will become atte. Maduttade will become madatte in spoken Kannada. Then maduttave, written form, will become madattave. So this is the present tense, neuter gender, first person singular. So we will see all these examples in the next slides like a table. Okay. So with tenses, you have the biggest difference between written Kannada and spoken Kannada. Now, when it comes to nouns, right, and the declension, the thing that you do on noun is called a vibhakti, right? Vibhaktis are of 7 types. We have a specific video for nouns, so I'll not go into the details. So in vibhakti, the difference in spoken Kannada and written Kannada is very limited. One is the second vibhakti, the dvitiya vibhakti, where you have to put annu, right? So annu will become anna, right? Avanannu will become avananna in spoken Kannada. You don't say avanannu, but even if you say avanannu in spoken Kannada, it's not wrong. Okay, just that for people to easily understand, you will just say avananna, not avanannu. So nanu avanannu nodiddini. Okay, so nanu avanannu nodiddini in spoken Kannada, you will say nanu avananna nodiddini. So here this Nodidini itself is spoken Kannada, but don't focus on this. Just focus on this Annu, the second vibhakti. So Nanu Avanannu, instead of saying Nanu Avanannu, you can say Nanu Avananna. But like what I said, these are all not like cast in stone. So you should not find somebody wrong saying, oh, he did not use the spoken Kannada form of suffix. That itself will be like absurd if you say such a thing. Okay, spoken Kannada doesn't have rules. Then one more change will be the suffix with, which is the Tritiya Vibhakti. In Tritiya Vibhakti, you have by and with. So this is with. In written form, you have this ondige, nannondige, right? Avanondige is the suffix in written form. In spoken form, this ondige is not used. Instead, jote is used. So, for example, ninnondige means with you. Nanu ninnondige bartini. I'll come with you. In spoken form, you'll say like that. You'll say ninnondige. But in written form, you'll say Nanu ninna jote bartini. Jote will be used. Okay, that is the second difference. Third difference, there is a suffix called vudu. Vudu is a postposition suffix. It converts verbs to nouns. Okay, and that becomes odu in spoken form. For example, maduvudu is doing. Act of doing is maduvudu. Madu is to do. Maduvudu is the act of doing, so it becomes a noun. Maduvudu will become madodu in spoken Kannada. Madodu. As you could see, spoken Kannada is just a convenient way to speak fast. That's all. It doesn't have any specific rules. Okay. ನನಗೆ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟ. Right? ನನಗೆ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟ. It means I like cooking. It's a gerund. Now, ನನಗೆ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟ is a spoken form. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಾನು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಸುಸ್ತು ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಇದೆ, ಸಾರಿ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಸುಸ್ತು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಾನು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಸುಸ್ತು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಡನ್ ಬೈ ಮೀ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್. ವೈ ಆರ್ ಯು ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಟಯರ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡುವುದು. Then, so ಮಾಡುವುದು, ಮಾಡೋದು. Then you can add the akke suffix to say, give the purpose. So ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನಾನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ 10 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ 10 kilometers ಫಾರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. So this akke is added to nouns. Here ಮಾಡು has become a ಮಾಡೋದು. So akke is getting added to give the purpose for doing work. ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಗಾಜು ಬಳೆ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂತೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್ಸ್. ಗಾಜು ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್. ಗಾಜು ಬಳೆ ಇಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್. ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಫಾರ್ ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋಡುವುದಕ್ಕೆ. ಸ್ಪೋಕನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ವಿಲ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಸಂತೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. Okay. So this ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ right? ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ here, ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. These are all spoken form tenses, which I'm going to give in tables in the next slide. So this is the difference in vibhaktis between written form and spoken form. Now we'll straight away go to the tables because the tenses difference are the majority difference between written form and spoken form, and it is also the source of confusion for people who are starting off to learn Kannada. So again, I repeat it. There is nothing like if somebody says here, this is an example, Maduttene is your written form, and the spoken form will be Martini. Instead of somebody saying Martini, if they say Maduttini, doesn't mean they are wrong. Okay, so you don't go and stop somebody and say, hey, your spoken form Kannada is wrong. There is nothing like that. Okay, so U ending verb, present and comparison. So Madu is the verb used. First person, so these are all your person, number, and gender. First person singular, second person, first person plural, second person singular, second person plural, like that. So Madutene is your written form. Martini is the spoken form. Madutteve, Martivi. Maduttiya, Maduttiye. It is a written form. Madtiya, Maduttiri, Madtira or Madtiri. Maduttane, Madtane. Maduttale, Madtale. Maduttare, Madtare. Maduttade, Madatte. Madutteve, right? Madutteve. So this is not Madutteve, Maduttave. Madattave. So Maduttave, Madattave. So if you see, the biggest difference is in this neuter gender, where it is Maduttade, Madatte. And you could also see this U is all dropped. It's just Mad. Martini, Martivi, Martia, Martiri, Martane, Martale. Now this spoken form, you will not find it in Google Translate. You will find only this in Google Translate, the written form. So you should not be confused. You should know how to adapt, okay, using this table. Okay, so now we come to the past tense, U ending verbs. Same thing, Madidenu, written form, this is spoken form. Madidenu, Madide. Madidevu, Madidvi. Madide, Madide. Madidiri, Madidri. Madidanu, Madida. Madidalu, Madidalu, same. Madidaru, Madidru. Maditu, Maditu, same. Madidavu, Madidavu, same. So you could see Madidenu will become Madide. Madidevu will become Madidvi. Okay, this is for first person plural. Navu Madidvi. Okay. Madide, Madide. Now, if you want to learn the spoken form, all the tenses properly, go to my drum beats series. I have all the what you call all the tenses clearly given in spoken form. You will clearly understand what suffix you have to use for what person, number, and gender. Here, this video is not to teach you um, how to you do tenses. This video is to teach you the difference between written form and spoken form, so that you're not confused when you look at Google Translate. Okay, so Madide, Madidvi, Madide, then Madidri, Madida, Madidalu, Madidru, Maditu, Madidavu. This is your past tense, U ending. We already finished present tense, U ending. Then we have present tense comparison, non-U ending verbs, right? For kare is what I have taken. Karayuttene, karitini, karayutteve, karitivi, karayuttiye, karitiya, karayuttiri, karitira or karitiri, karayuttane, karitane, karayuttale, karitale, karayuttare, karitare, karayuttade, kariyatte, karayuttave, kariyattave. Okay, it's present tense non-U ending. Then we have past tense non-U ending. Karedenu, karide, karedevu, karidvi, karede, karide, then karediri, karidri, karidri. So karediri, karidri, karedanu, karida, karedalu, karidalu, karedaru, karidaru, kareyitu, kariyitu. Karedavu, karidavu. As you could see, only the kare has become kari, even in the present tense. Then the enu is changed to a only. Okay, they kept it short form. Karedanu has become kare. Karedanu becomes karida. Avanu karida. Kare is to call, by the way. Okay, so non-past tense suffix spoken Kannada, just a summary. Non-past tense means present tense and future tense. For that purpose, tini, tivi, tiya, tiri, tane, tale, tare, atte and attave are used. Martini, martivi, martiya, martiri, martane, martale, martare, madatte, madattave. Non-past. Then I'm specifically giving the Iru verbs spoken Kannada present and future tense because Iru verb alone it is not non-past. You have a specific set for present tense. You have a specific set for future tense. Okay, Iru is to be. Okay, so the future tense is irtini, irtivi, irtiya, irtiri, irtane, irtale, irtare, iratte, irattave. This is future tense. Okay. Then, for example, I will be there. I will be there in the mall. Nanu mall alli irtini. You should say. Okay. If you are saying I am in the mall, then you will say Nanu mall alli iddini. Okay. Iddini, iddivi, iddiya, iddiri, iddane, iddale, iddare, ide, ive. This is your Iru verb. That is why I want to give the Iru verb up front so that you will know that just for Iru verb alone, you have two, the present and future are well differentiated. Whereas for all the other verbs, present tense itself is future. Okay. Okay, Iru verbs past. I'm giving again Iru verb for present, past, and future because Iru verb is used as the secondary verb when you're for other tenses, for complex tenses. When you're using complex tenses like continuous tense, present perfect tense, Iru verb is the second part. I have those example slides. I will show them next. So the past tense of Iru is was, right? Be is was. So past tense of Iru here, spoken Kannada. So idde, idvi, idde, ಇದ್ರಿ, ಇದ್ದ, ಇದ್ದಳು, ಇದ್ರು, ಇತ್ತು, ಇದ್ದವು. Right? So, ಆ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇತ್ತು. That book was there only. Was there only. But somebody took it now. So, ಆ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇತ್ತು. Okay, that's your ittu. Then, now I'm giving the complex tenses, present continuous tense for spoken Kannada. Okay, do. I'm taking do, madu is as an example. Doing, right? So, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀಯ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇವೆ. Now, if you want to learn this properly for all the verbs, then please go to my drum beats series. I have a playlist for it. I have given every possible combination of tenses that you can drum beat and learn. Okay, so you can easily learn the tenses. It is not very difficult if you just keep on listening to the drum beat. Okay, let me go to this is present continuous. Next is past continuous. So past continuous is was doing. Okay, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಳು, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರು, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದವು. So next is the present perfect tense, which is like have done. Okay, so we did the continuous tense. Is doing, was doing, done. Now it is have done. This is present perfect. ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀಯ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, right? ಮಾಡಿದೆ, actually ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, right? ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಮಾಡಿವೆ. Okay, so this is your present perfect. Then you have your past perfect, had done. ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಳು, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದರು, ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದವು. So that was the last slide. So this video's idea was to give you the difference between written form and spoken form in our English transliteration. Again, I repeat, if you want to learn tenses, please go to the drum beat series in the playlist. You will easily be able to understand tenses. Okay, so don't get fluttered by watching this video. If you're watching this video for the first time and you have not watched my other videos, don't think that the tenses are difficult. They are actually very easy. If you go to the drumbeat series, you'll understand. Okay, so the important points is remember to adapt your Kannada depending on whether you are writing an exam or giving a formal speech on a stage or speaking casually with a friend. If you're writing an exam, it will be the written form of Kannada. If you're giving a formal speech, it will also be the written form of Kannada. If you're speaking casually with a friend, it will be the spoken form of Kannada, right? Now, the natives, they learn the Kannada as the written form is what is taught in school. So they learn that in school, and when they come home, they'll automatically speak spoken form automatically. So they are comfortable with both the forms. It's the problem is with people who are non-natives who are learning Kannada, they get so what you call entangled in this written form, spoken form, with all that information available online, they get confused. My opinion is to, and the way I learned was to, I learned the written form properly, even though I'm not a native Kannadiga. So I learned the written form properly, and then in a period of 1 year, and then adapted myself to the spoken form. Okay, I'm comfortable with that because I can understand the grammar very well. That is why I chose to learn the written form, and I can read books, right? That is one advantage. Of course, books have also been written with spoken form, right, of Kannada. Many books, many novels, they write it with spoken form. Suddenly they'll switch over to written form also in the book. So many things are there. But if you learn written form, you will not go wrong. You will not get lost. If you directly learn the spoken form, there is a chance that you will get lost on how a grammar is happening. Okay, so it's always better to at least know the written form and then speak the spoken form. Okay, then if you speak written Kannada form in Bangalore, natives will certainly appreciate you because they'll think that okay, this guy has learned the written form of Kannada, but it'll look a bit odd because it'll be very pure and it'll be a bit difficult to communicate with people. So if you want to really blend with the crowd, you have to adapt to the spoken form when you're speaking casually. Okay, then to understand written form, you can watch TV serials like this Site Rama in Star Swarna. Then Ashoka is also one more period TV serial in Colors TV. Shani is also a period TV serial in Colors TV. These serials they use the written form in speech. You could see it already, and that will give you an idea. Okay, but if you're a person who is looking only for the written form, you want to learn Kannada in a transliteration form, meaning you don't really want to go deep, that's fine, that's your choice. Then you can stick to the spoken form, go to the drumbeat series because the drumbeat series is completely using the spoken form and gives you a lot of practice on how to use the tenses because tenses and vibhaktis are the foundation of your spoken Kannada. If you have any problems understanding or using the tenses and vibhakti, you can't speak fluently. You can't speak Kannada fluently. So that's basically what it is. So go to the drumbeat series and play it and see if you're able to pick it up. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.